Good morning, Ghana. It's Friday, the 19th of June, 2026. Another Friday, another opportunity to pause for a moment and look back on the week. The meetings, the deadlines, the traffic, the conversations, the wins, the disappointments. Somehow, we've made it here. And this is a Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM with me, Nitrebi Hamon. Thank you very much for choosing us this morning. You know, Fridays have a different feeling. People smile a little more. The weekend starts appearing in our thoughts. But before we get there, there's still business to discuss and important conversations to have. And this morning, we'll bring you the latest the stories making waves in our headlines, the developments shaping the economy, and the insights that help you make sense of the world around you. And we're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Zed Multimedia. Please do well to like, comment, follow, and share with your family and friends and get them to be a part of today's show. Whether you are on the road already or whether you're at home opening your shop or already at work, thank you for making us part of your morning. It's Friday, and let's end the week informed, grateful, and ready for what comes next. right, exactly 35 minutes after 6. This is the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM with me, Trebi Hammond, Ja YME by Kwekute. Very powerful song right there this morning. And of course, God has been good to us. Why a year? Yeah, some of us, when we look at where we came from, the kinds of things we've gotten ourselves involved in, the kind of families, the kind of communities we came from, and we are still standing. And the Lord has brought us this far. In fact, all we can say is that Ja YME, the Lord has made us well. And I pray for you this morning. Maybe you are in a particular phase of your life where you are not too sure, what could come out of your life. But I just want you to know that God can make you well. And so this morning, have that at the back of your mind that God can make you well. And so if wherever you are, I just want you to put your hand on your heart or your chest and say that God can make me well and He will make me well. Say it again. Say, God can make me well and He will make me well. And that is your word for today. God will make you well. Oh, actually. Obey ye rough. People will see and they will not believe. Yes. And that is my word for you this morning as you go about your day. Thank you very much for choosing us this morning. We're really grateful for making us part of your morning. This is a Business Breakfast on Zed, your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform. And this morning, we've got a lot of things coming up for you. As always, we're going to begin with our news review segment. We'll look at some of the stories that are making waves on the various portals, and then we try to, break some of them down for you. Feel free, you can join that conversation on our WhatsApp line 0544-321019, 0544-321019. And of course, right after that, we'll bring you our business news at exactly 7 o'clock. We'll serve you that right here so that you get to know what is happening in the world of business as well. And then right after that, as also, we get into what we call the business brief segment. And I'll be sharing something briefly with you in line with our roundtable discussion for today. And so we'll serve you that as well. And then right after that, we bring you the market trend segment. Emmanuel Watting, our in-house economic analyst, will be joining us very soon for a very good conversation right here on the show. And then we'll wrap everything up with our roundtable discussion. I promise you it's going to be a fantastic morning right here on the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM. Yes. So please do well to stick and stay. We'll bring you all of that shortly. But you can engage us on our social media platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Zed Multimedia. Feel free to share the link with your family and friends and get them to be a part of our conversations this morning. If you have any birthday wishes, feel free to send them to me as well. You can drop it under the live stream or you can send them to the WhatsApp number I mentioned, 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and I'll read all of them for you. You can also take the number, and when we open the phone lines, you're free to call us. You can call us on 03039566641, 03039566641, and we give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. It's going to be a fantastic morning, a fantastic Friday, yes, right here on the show. Please don't go anywhere. Let's get into our news review segment right away. Right, thank you very much. Let's get into our news review segment this morning, right here on the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM. And today we're beginning, of course, with the New Finder newspaper. I want to look at some of the stories making waves in there, and then we try to touch on some of them as we go on. All right, so the front page of the New Finder newspaper, it says that Fitch predicts 5.0 or 5% growth rate for Ghana in 2026, and that story is on page 9. Also, rising producer inflation not immediate threat to consumer prices, and that's coming from an analyst. Also, government spends 888.8 million on tertiary education support, and that is coming from the minister. Also, oil prices fall as US and Iran sign interim deal, and 2026 World Cup caliber chief powers Ghana to a 1-0 victory over Panama, and that story is on page 15 of the paper. All right, so let's do some inside stories here as well. Now, MTN Ghana boost healthcare delivery yellow care initiative. With yellow care initiative, also government to engage labor groups on decent work agenda for digital economy. And also this one says that Ghana establishes first marine protected area, and nationwide campaign launched to eliminate tropical diseases. Now, also here coming from the mayor of Sekendita Crowd, it says that inadequate funding calls for sanitation challenges, and that also Africa will prevail on reparations, and that's coming from the Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Kujato Ablakwa. Now, also Professor Wole Soyinka says that slave trade is still active in modern forms, and so that is across in modern forms across Africa, and that's also another story there. Maybe let's look at that and then we move on to some other portals. It says a Nobel laureate and Nigerian playwright Professor Wole Soyinka has argued that elements of slave trade are still present in modern day Africa. According to him, contemporary human trafficking and child kidnapping networks reflect ongoing forms of slavery on the continent. Now, speaking at the opening ceremony of the Next Steps Conference on Reparatory Justice in Accra, Professor Soyinka said discussions on reparations must also confront present-day exploitation alongside historical injustices. And he described what he called conglomeratives of perpetual iniquity, referring to what he said are existing slave markets operating in parts of Africa. Professor Soyinka said victims of abduction are often moved through organized trafficking networks, stressing that such practices demonstrate the continued existence of modern slavery. He cited Nigeria as an example, saying authorities have had to undertake rescue operations, including the use of chartered aircraft to retrieve trafficked nationals from what he described as slave markets within the region. All right, so very good concerns coming from Professor Wole Soyinka. All right, but let's move on to some other stories here. Now, GHIB secures AFDB back into strengthening trade finance, and also producer inflation surges to 5.8% in May, and government converts rural banks into community banks. Also, Ghana Statistical Service urges firms to secure inputs as producer inflation rise. Also, bond market turnover surges to 7.16 billion Ghana cedis, and that story is on page 9 of the paper. Also, oil prices fall as US and Iran sign interim deal. And also this one says that, okay, some international news in the New Finder newspaper. South Africa secures $1 billion loan for infrastructure upgrades. Also, Nigeria assures evacuation of citizens from South Africa by June 30, and Zimbabwe court clears path for presidential term extension. All right, so these are some of the stories making waves this morning in the New Finder newspaper. Now, let's move on to myjoyonline.com. Here, top story here says that 300 million Ghana cedis won't cut it. Buffer Stock CEO says Ghana needs 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to secure food reserves. And also, mine pits tragedy. Bosome Freho Assembly orders owners arrest after woman and child die. I see. Now, also, this one says that Mahama stories of enslaved women must no longer be footnotes in history. Also, Ghana facing integrity crisis as corruption becomes everyday culture, and that is coming from Crusaders Against Corruption. Also, Ghana needs up to 90,000 more teachers, but budget allows only 7,000 recruits, and that's coming from the education minister. Now, 35 killed as gunmen attack Niger's biggest airport, and so that is also there. And Mahama sets up 3 global panels for addressing issues of reparations. And government 300 million Ghana cedis grain fund signals new era for food security, and that is coming from the NAFCO boss. He also says that Ghana trailed Mali and others in building food reserves. Also, Messi's father dealing with health-related situation, and oil falls as supply starts moving through Strait of Hormuz. All right, that's good news there as well. Now let's move on to citynewsroom.com. Kennedy Japan wants NPP. If they provoke me, I will spill the beans, and that is coming from Honorable Kennedy Japan. Also, this one says that prioritize skills over white collar jobs. Osman Ayariga urges youth, and 42% of Get Fund budget allocated to free SHS feeding, and that is coming from the Honorable Aruna Idris. Also, this one says that Northeast. This one is in Northeast. Northeast. It says that one killed, 3 others injured in Kariminga trailer crash. Also, Akufo-Addo government invested 450 million Ghana cedis on flood control. Asenso Boache says that also use 24-hour market funds to complete Agenda 111 hospitals, or projects, and minority to government. Also, NDC to name party headquarters after Jerry Rawlings. And also, Mahama unveils 3 global panels to advance reparatory justice agenda. And Ghana scholarship students in UK accuse High Commission staff of assault. And BOG assets rise to 321.4 billion Ghana cedis as foreign securities and gold holdings strengthen. All right, so that's that as well. Let's move on to channel1newsonline.com. Tema and Ashaman. All right, it says that Tema, Ashaman, and Amasaman benefit from cleanup Accra desilting exercise. Also NDC to name national headquarters after Rawlings unveil bust on 79th birthday, and KNUST law graduate dies after collapsing during Ghana victory celebration. Oh. This is quite unfortunate. Let me look at the story. It says a tragedy has struck the family and friends of 26-year-old private legal practitioner Sarah Abatete after she died following a reported cardiac arrest during celebration of Ghana's victory over Panama on Wednesday. Now, Sarah, a former KNUST Faculty of Law student who was called to the Ghana bar earlier this year, was working with ONA Legal Consults. Now, she was said to have been watching the match with friends at Standard Hostel in Bomsu near KNUST when she suddenly collapsed during the celebrations that followed Ghana's win. Now, she was quickly rushed to the KNUST hospital where medical staff reportedly performed CPR for about 45 minutes. Despite efforts to save her life, she was pronounced dead shortly after. Her death has shocked the legal community, especially colleagues from the KNUST and the Ghana School of Law, where she was well known and highly regarded. Friends describe her as a promising lawyer with a bright future, and her body has been deposited at the KNUST Medical School mortuary, while arrangements are expected to be made by the family. Now, the exact circumstances surrounding her death have not yet been officially confirmed by her family or medical authorities. So this is sad. This is very, very sad. May her soul rest in peace. All right. Anyway, let's do some other stories here. Now, France to inaugurate slave trade memorial in 2027, and that's coming from Macron. Also, women must be central to reparations agenda, and that is coming from Mahama. Now, Senegal ready to lead slave trade reconciliation efforts, and that's coming from President Faye. Also, public sector workers owing student loans to face salary reductions, and that is coming from the Controller and Accountants General's Department. Also, government spends 888 million Ghana cedis supporting over 312,000 students under no-fee stress policy. And Grams Morgan says that DNA test reveals I am 46% Ghanaian. And police warn SHS students over WASI misconduct. Remove barriers to Ghanaian language use in parliament. And that is coming from Professor Yanka. Also, Soyinka says that African leaders share blame for slavery legacy. Also, a free defense NPP record on Afari military hospital. And so those are the stories there as well. Let's move on to graphiconline.com this morning now. Here, some stories here. It says that reparations cannot be complete without addressing enslaved women's sufferings. And that's coming from President Mahama. Now, carjacking syndicate in Kumasi, one suspect arrested and two gang members killed in shootout with police. Also, police warned Wasi candidates against post-exam violence, and 6 students arrested in Upper East. Now, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire agree on common cocoa price. Also, this one says that timber millers accuse trade association members of being behind Babato Kuma Forestry Commission checkpoint attack. Also, Pandai NP disburses 100,000 Ghana cedis to 100 students from Education Support Fund. Also, Pandai Assembly supports schools with maize ahead of lean season, and Pandai DCE procures motorbikes for victims of violent clashes. And so those are some of the stories actually making waves also on graphiconline.com. Now, on the High Street Journal, it says that here's how much I think that's a feature. Now, universities are producing future entrepreneurs, but the Ghanaian system matches them into unemployment and the side hustle economy, while more professionals are taking second jobs and starting businesses. Also, this one says that can Ghana's technical universities keep pace with the AI economy? Also, new capital requirement for rural banks may strengthen sector, but not without side effects. Also, Ghana wins LBMA backing for gold traceability, and its economy holds firms during Black Stars fixture as residents say sleep can wait. Also, this one says a proposed auditor's court has no place in our laws. Dr. Etiahini raises constitutionality concerns. And also, DSTV, GTV banter becomes a real-time marketing playbook for Ghanaian brands. All right, so those are some of the stories there. Also, this one says the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber cautioned against retaliation amidst SA xenophobic tensions. Also, Urenchi's late strike revives Bring Back the Love campaign and fuels the World Cup business hopes. All right, Bank of Ghana orders rural banks to rebrand to community banks by December 2026. And that's also Ghana's. All right. I think these ones are old stories. Let's move on to the international front now. Now on BBC, Andy Burnham wins by-election, paving way for possible leadership change to UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And also, US lifts naval blockade as Iran's supreme leader says Trump made deal out of depression. Also, in Trump's shadow, Vance becomes face of Iran deal, and Mexico become first country to qualify for World Cup last 32. Yes. So Mexico has qualified already. This one says what Iran and US get from deal and why both could struggle to keep it. Also, 35 killed as gunmen attack Niger's biggest airport. Also, Moscow residents complain of black rain after largest Ukrainian attack hits oil refinery. And London Marathon to be two-day event in 2027. Also, parents of Serbia's teenage school shooter giving jail terms in retrial. Man arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after boy injured in crocodile enclosure. And Mercy's father dealing with health-related situation. All right, so those are some of the stories there. Let's look at BBC Africa. Now 30. Already ready. South Africa score leads from sports to draw to draw with Czech Republic. Also, lawyer in high-profile Ugandan treason case charged with related offense. Also, mother of Cape Verde's goalkeeper. I am going to see my son play in the World Cup. Also, I buried my parents one day after the other. Ebola mourners learn how to grieve safely. I think those are some stories from yesterday. Now let's look at Reuters. Now on Reuters, US-Iran peace talks called off, clouding prospect for lasting truce. And also says that Iran's Revolutionary Guard set up covert Iraqi cells to attack Gulf neighbors. This one also says that US-Iran deal redraws the Middle East. Iran gains and rivals alarmed. Also, Israel steps up Lebanon attacks with strikes that kill 15. And Republicans blast Trump's Iran agreement as details emerge. All right, so those are some of the stories. Now, this one also says that Andy Burnham's election to parliament sets up bid to oust Starmer. And also, yeah, all right. So I think these are some of the stories. Let's move on to Reuters Africa and see what stories are also making waves here. Now, Zimbabwe's, okay, I think I'd want to go back to the story about the US-Iran peace talks. Let me just look at that. It says that US-Iran peace talks called off, clouding prospect for lasting truce. Let me see what the story says. It says that Switzerland says US talks with Iranian negotiators on a pact to end the Middle East would not take place on Friday, as Vice President J.D. Vance dropped plans to travel to Geneva, adding to uncertainty whether a lasting truce can be found. Now, it says that, I quote, the logistics of these negotiations have never been simple or predictable, the White House spokesperson said in a statement on Thursday night. Vance and the U.S. delegation had been ready to depart as soon as plans were finalized. And the talks set for the mountaintop resort of Bergenstock would not take place. Switzerland Foreign Ministry confirmed, but gave no details. There was no immediate response from Iran, which had earlier said it was ready to begin technical talks after Wednesday's 14-point accord extended a tenuous ceasefire by at least 60 days. And Iran's negotiators first needed to see signs of the U.S. implementing the interim deal, and there was no confirmation its delegation would travel to Geneva. Now, the semi-official Tasnim news agency said before Vance's Thursday announcements. Now, U.S. officials had also said they would hold a formal signing ceremony for the U.S.-Iran agreement in Switzerland, but Iran's foreign ministry had cast doubt on the plan, calling it unnecessary after both countries' presidents signed the pact. And the war, which began on February 28 with U.S. and Israel airstrikes on Iran, has killed at least 7,000 people and sent energy prices soaring and shaking global markets. Now, Israel, left out of the peace talks, has distanced itself from the US-Iran accord and kept up fighting against the Iranian-allied Hezbollah militant group in Lebanon, also raising questions about whether the agreement would hold. Now, in Washington, some of the U.S. President Donald Trump's Republican allies in Congress questioned whether he had conceded too much in order to end the conflict, unpopular with most Americans in the run-up to midterm elections in November. Now, Trump had sworn to end the war only with Iran's unconditional surrender, but the memorandum signed with Iran instead provides relief from economic sanctions and freezes assets worth tens of billions of dollars and immediate U.S. waivers for its export oil. Well, the story goes on and on, but that is that. So, yes, I think that on Monday or Tuesday, I think it was on Tuesday, we spoke extensively about some of these things and what the peace deal, which was supposed to be signed today, was going to bring us and all of that. But it appears that it is not happening. I hope that it happens maybe at another time. Maybe they can consider and do it, because, like I said, this actually has a lot of impact. I mean, like we always say, this actually has a lot of impact on our prices here in this country. Yes, I know we are far away from what is happening there, but it actually has an impact here. All right, let's move on to Reuters Africa. Then we'll look at CNBC and then we wrap up. It says that Zimbabwe's crocodile leader makes another move to consolidate power. Also, Al-Qaeda linked militants claim attack on Niger airports that killed 13. Now, South African rand weakens as hawkish Fed boosts dollar and stocks turn lower as US-Iran talks hit earlier snag and oil erase early losses. Also, oil falls as supply moves through Strait of Hormuz after Iran war pact, and yen nears 40-year low and dollar gains as peace talks in doubt. Also, China's African tariff removals and trade surge spare yuan adoption, and also Congo says number of confirmed Ebola cases rises to 896. IMF greenlights new 211 million US dollars climate fund for Sierra Leone. Also, IMF concludes staff visit to Malawi with no deal on new lending, and dollar hits 1 year high on Fed hike bets. Also, Japan warns on year. Now, Zimbabwe and US expand use of 491 million US dollar grant program to critical metal infrastructure. And on CNBC, finally, now this one says that Zimbabwe's crocodile leader makes another move to consolidate power. U.S. announces targeted visa restrictions for some Ethiopians. Also, Ugandan and Kenyan currencies could climb Zambia's May slide. And shaping the future of trade, the launch of DMCC campus and DMCC intelligence. Also, Zimbabwe's Mimosa revives $130 million US platinum project after price rebound. And finally, Uganda April exports up 27% year on year, helped by gold shipments. All right, so these are some of the stories making waves this morning on the various portals, and that'll be all for our news review segment for this morning. Up next is business news. Please stay tuned.
It's now time for the business news. Coming up in headlines: Community Banks Finance Sector Framework 2026. While industry players have welcomed the reforms aimed at strengthening the financial sector and enhancing financial inclusion, many institutions are concerned about their ability to raise the additional capital within the stipulated timeline. The reforms, which converted all rural and community banks into community banks, also require institutions to undertake extensive rebranding and regulatory adjustment by December 2026. Several banks have already met the new capital threshold, while others are pursuing various strategies to mobilize funds. Community banks are expected to submit capital mobilization plans by June 30, with progress reviews scheduled for September and final compliance assessment in December 2026. Ghana International Bank has signed a confirming bank agreement with the African Development Bank Group under the AFDB's Transaction Guarantee Instrument, in a move aimed at strengthening trade, finance, and supporting economic growth across Africa. The agreement is expected to enhance the bank's ability to support importers, exporters, and financial institutions involved in cross-border trade, while improving access to financing for businesses operating across the continent. Under the agreement, Ghana International Bank joins a select group of financial institutions approved under the African Development Bank's eligibility framework, reinforcing its role in facilitating trade and investment across Africa and international markets. Chief Executive Officer of Ghana International Bank, Ian Greenstreet, described the agreement as a major milestone for the bank and its client. He said the partnership will strengthen the bank's capacity to support businesses engaged in international trade while promoting economic growth and investment across Africa. Mr. Greenstreet noted that as a UK-regulated bank with strong African roots and global connections, Ghana International Bank is well positioned to serve as a bridge between African markets and international capital. For his part, Vice President for Private Sector, Infrastructure and Industrialization at the African Development Bank Group, Solomon Quaino, said the partnership would help expand trade across Africa, particularly in low-income countries and transition states such as Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Guinea, and Liberia. Moving on, Fitch Rating is projecting Ghana's economy to grow by 5% in 2026, down from the 5.9% growth recorded in 2025. The UK-based agency says the slowdown reflects the impact of the ongoing Middle East war, which has driven up energy import costs and created supply risk for oil products and fertilizers. Fitch noted that while sub-Saharan African economies are more resilient than during the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022, the current shock will test their strength. According to the report, headline inflation is rising but remains manageable due to greater currency stability. Central banks across the region are better positioned to respond, with most running private real policy rate. Fitch added that external positions are stronger than in 2022, with narrower current account deficit and reserves covering at least 3 months of external payment. High commodity prices are also helping offset higher energy costs. The agency highlighted that revenue mobilization and subsidy reforms have improved public finances, though political and social pressures continue to limit fiscal adjustment. Meanwhile, Ghana's producer price inflation rose sharply to 5.8% in May, up from 2.7% in April, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. The biggest drivers were mining and quarrying, which recorded the highest year-on-year inflation rate of 11%, followed by water supply, sewage and waste management at 10.2%, and transportation and storage at 7.7%. Electricity and gas posted 6.9%, construction 4.3%, while accommodation and food services registered 2.9%. Manufacturing, one of the economy's largest sectors, recorded a modest 0.7% increase. Despite the rise in annual inflation, factory gate prices fell by 1.4% between April and May, pointing to short-term easing in cost pressures. The Statistical Service is urging businesses to secure key inputs through forward contracts or bulk purchases to cushion against rising costs. It is also calling on government to strengthen inflation monitoring, particularly in mining, transport and manufacturing, to contain potential supply chain pressures. Global oil prices declined on Thursday, while stock markets rallied after an agreement between the United States and Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz came into effect, easing fears over disruptions to one of the world's most critical energy shipping routes. The deal, confirmed through a memorandum facilitated with support from Pakistan, allows for the immediate reopening of the waterway and is expected to pave the way for sanction waivers that could enable Iran to gradually resume oil exports to global market. Brent crude fell by nearly 3% to around $77 per barrel, while West Texas Intermediate also dropped by more than 3% as traders anticipated increased global supply and reduced geopolitical risk. The Strait of Hormuz, which carries a significant share of global oil and gas shipment, had faced heightened uncertainty in recent weeks, contributing to sharp price volatility. Global equities responded positively, with gains across Asia, while European and U.S. futures pointed upward amid improved investor sentiment and expectations of easing inflation pressures driven by lower energy costs. In more news, the Ghana Stock Exchange recorded a decline in midweek trading as bearish sentiment pushed the benchmark index lower, even as trading activity surged sharply. The GES Composite Index fell by 35.33 points to close at 14,605.55, representing a 0.2% drop. The decline was driven by losses in several heavyweight stocks, despite the market maintaining a strong year-to-date gain of 66.54%. Ecobank Transactional Incorporated led the losers with a 3.93% decline, while MTN Ghana, Societe Generale Ghana, and Total Energies Marketing Ghana also ended in a negative territory. However, Casapreco recorded a strong performance, rising by 9.66% to become the day's top gainer, while Calbank also posted gains. Hollad Ghana has commissioned a new 50-seater call center in Accra as part of efforts to strengthen customer service delivery and improve responsiveness to its growing client base. The facility, which serves both Hollad Insurance and Hollad Life, is expected to handle incoming customer enquiries while also making outbound calls for follow-ups and proactive engagement. The center will manage services including claims processing, policy update, renewals, product inquiries, and general customer support. Group Chief Executive Officer of Hollard Ghana, Patience Achianu, says the investment is aimed at improving customer experience and ensuring clients receive timely and quality service. She explains that the new facility will enable the company to respond faster to customer needs while ensuring that every interaction reflects the organization's values of care and dignity. The managing director of Hollard Insurance, Daniel Boy Adu, noted that the company's growing customer base necessitated the expansion of its service channels. He said insurance is built on trust and accessibility, adding that the new call center will make it easier for customers to reach the company and receive prompt assistance. The company says the call center will complement its existing service channels, including branches nationwide, franchise outlets, partner retail locations, and online platforms. And now to our last story for the bulletin. The Tree Crops Development Authority has directed all organizations, government agencies, NGOs, and individuals involved in distributing tree crop seedlings to source planting materials only from the authority certified suppliers. The directive, issued under the Tree Crops Development Authority Act 2019, takes effect on July 3, 2026 and covers 6 regulated crops: cashew, coconut, oil palm, mango, rubber, and shea. According to the authority, the move is aimed at improving quality assurance, traceability, and productivity in Ghana's tree crops sector. Regulations 46 of the Tree Crops Regulations 2023 empowers TCDA to ensure planting materials are obtained from verifiable sources. Under the new rules, distributors must procure seedlings only from approved stocks, keep records of their sources, and present them for inspection and certification before distribution. The authority warned that no uncertified planting materials will be permitted once the directive comes into force, and violators will face sanctions. Farmers and beneficiaries are being urged to verify that seedlings supplied to them come from only accredited sources. And this is where we end business news. But before I go, let's take a recap of our top stories. Community banks face capital challenge at the new Bank of Ghana reforms. Also, Fitch sees Ghana's growth slowing to 5% in 2025. And Tree Crops Development Authority orders use of certified tree crop seedlings. We came your way with these stories and many others from our studio here at number 6, Sanyete Avenue, East Legon, Accra. For more news, you can log on to www.zmultimedia.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH, and on TikTok and YouTube at ZMultimedia. Thank you for listening. I am Mami Ifua Kwejua. Nitravi continues with the BBC. You're tuned.
ideas, debate, storytelling, and all of that. I mean, the kind of mind you want in the room. But Kwame has lived with a stammerer since childhood. His earliest memory is in primary school, being asked to read aloud. He knew the words, he understood the passage, but when it was his turn, the words refused to come out. His lips tightened, his breath actually locked, and silence filled the room. Then, the next thing, he was going to hear was laughter, and then the rushing, then someone finishing his sentences for him. And then slowly, Kwame learned a dangerous lesson that speaking is risky. Now, by junior high school, he had perfected a survival skill, avoid talking altogether. And by university, the stammer was no longer just about speech, he had become emotional. Now, he avoided presentations unless it was forced. He skipped introductions, he feared phone calls, and rehearsed sentences in his head, swapping out words he thought might block, quote and unquote. And maybe the hardest part is that people misunderstood him. Relax. Oh, you are shy. Just slow down. Those were some of the things. Some people assumed he was nervous. Some assumed he lacked confidence. And some even assumed he wasn't intelligent. What most people didn't know was that Kwame could speak fluently when alone, or when singing, or when talking to children. So what was really going on? And that question changed Kwame's life. Because when he finally met a speech therapist, he learned something many people still don't know. That stammering is not caused by fear, low intelligence, or upbringing, or poor upbringing. Let me repeat that. Stammering is not caused by fear, low intelligence, or poor upbringing. It is actually a neurodevelopmental speech disorder, a difference in how the brain plans and executes speech. Now, the brain moves faster than the speech muscles can coordinate. And certain sounds or situations actually trigger blocks or repetitions. And then stress doesn't cause it, but it can make it louder. So for the first time, Kwame felt seen. And I want to pause here because this is important. Now, there are people listening right now who have spent years blaming themselves for something that was never their fault. There are parents listening who have told children, try harder, without understanding what the child is actually fighting. And there are teachers, employers, pastors, managers listening who have unknowingly silenced people, not with bad intention, but with impatience. And so this conversation is for all of us. Now, Kwame's story did not suddenly turn into a miracle. There was no overnight cure, no magical fluency. What happened instead was quieter, but more powerful. Small steps, some learning techniques here and there, working on shame, speaking even when the stammer showed up, finding safe spaces where no one rushed him, where no one finished his sentences, and where silence was allowed. Now, until quite recently, I thought it was okay to help somebody who was unable to speak, or who was struggling to speak. And so sometimes you try to say the things for them. But I've come to learn that they are not happy about it. People like that are not happy about it at all. And so I think that's something that we all need to learn. Let's be patient sometimes listening to these people. And I believe that, they will gain their confidence and they'll be able to flow very well. And so, no one finished his sentences where silence was allowed. And something shifted, not his stammer, but his relationship with it. Now, Kwame began to speak again, slowly, imperfectly, courageously, stop apologizing before talking. He introduced himself without hiding his name. And sometimes he stammered badly, very, very badly. Sometimes he didn't. But something fundamental changed. He stopped measuring his worth by fluency. Now, today, Kwame works as a communications officer for a local NGO. Yes, you heard me right. Communications. He still stammers, especially under pressure, but he speaks confidently. In interviews, he says upfront that, quote and unquote, I have a stammer, so I may take my time. And then he's bold about it. And you know what happens? People slow down, they listen better, and then they show patience. And his voice is heard. Now, I'm sharing this not to give you all the answers, because that's what our roundtable this morning is for. But to frame today's conversation properly, this is not a discussion about fixing people, not at all. This is a discussion about understanding, management, and dignity. And our roundtable this morning is titled Finding Your Voice, Understanding Stammering, and How to Overcome It. And when we say overcome, we don't mean pretending it doesn't exist. We mean overcoming the shame, the silence, the stigma, the misunderstanding. And we'll talk about what stammering really is and what it is not. We will confront some common myths. We'll explore why environment matters, why patience matters, why confidence does not have to wait for perfect speech, And we will also hear stories, not of perfection, but of progress. Because the truth is that fluency is not the same as intelligence. Fluency is not the same as intelligence. And speed is not the same as clarity. Silence is also not the same as emptiness. Some of the most thoughtful voices actually speak slowly. And some of the bravest voices shake. Some of the strongest voices have had to fight just to be heard. So if you are listening to me this morning and you stammer, this conversation is for you. If you love someone who stammers, this conversation is for you. If you lead, teach, manage, or mentor people, this conversation is for you. If you live with anybody at all who stammers, I think this conversation is for you as well. Because finding your voice is not about sounding perfect. It's about speaking anyway and being heard. And so that's what we'll be talking about this morning on a roundtable discussion. Please don't go anywhere. You can share the link with your family and friends and get them to also join the conversation. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Send us a WhatsApp on 0544-321019, 0544-321019. Also, you can call us on 030395664 030395664 when we open the phone lines. And I'd love to hear from you. Well, very soon we're going to get into a market trends segment. Emmanuel Boateng will be joining us for a very important conversation this morning right here on the show. But we'll take a quick music break. When we return, we'll bring you all of that shortly right here on the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM with me, Ni Trebi Hammond. Please don't go anywhere. Enjoy Onyamia Kasa by James Varick Amar. Yes, but this was sung, I think, by the Harmonious Choral. Please stay tuned and keep enjoying this one. We'll be right back. James Varick Ama or so, and then what I just played was was put together by Harmonious Choral. Anyway, but let me just share something that I have with you this morning. I have some good news for you. Now, if you're ready to step into your dream home, then Lakeside Estate has got an exclusive offer for you. Now, with this offer, you can own your own house in just 2 years with no interest repayment. Yes, you heard me right. You can own your own house in just 2 years with no interest repayment. And this offers you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle choice. And you get to choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Yes, you heard me right. So your future awaits. Just imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. Just imagine that. So as your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. And all you have to do is to place a call to us today. You can call us on 020-477-5042, 020-477-5042, or 020-477-5040, 020-477-5040, or 050-1418622, 050-1418622. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour of our available homes. Lakeside Estate, to say quality homes for all. All right, so yes, we're going to play. We're going to get into our market trends segment shortly, but continue enjoying this one, and we will be right back. I'm sure you're enjoying the choral music that I'm playing you for you this morning. Yes, this morning I decided to go in that direction, and so please enjoy it, and we will be right back. God bless you for being a good friend to me, and I wish you more money and good life. All right, and so that is from Felix to Edwin Kweku Bank. Also, this one is from Alexander Danso, and to Carl Mark. All right, so Carl Mark, happy birthday to you. This is from Alexander Danso. Says that happy birthday to you, my brother and friend. Wishing you good health and more money. All right, so it looks like people are sending a lot of more money wishes. Anyway, okay, so one more here. Now this one also goes to Erica Chumisi, and Erica Chumisi, this is from Nanayao from Osu. It says that happy birthday, Erica. God bless you abundantly. All right, so that is also another one. You can also keep your messages coming through 0544 321019, 0544 321019. I'd love to read them for you, and so or wish your loved ones for you. Feel free to send them to me, 0544 321019, and then I will read all of them for you. All right, maybe let me just do one more, and then we can take another quick music break, and then we get into our roundtable discussion right after that. Now, this one is going to Felix Boahene, and it's from Derek. Derek says that happy birthday, Felix. Happy birthday, Felix, and into bracket, my brother. Okay, so happy birthday, my brother. God bless you abundantly for being a good brother and friend. I wish you good health and goodwill, right? Okay, so thank you very much for sending your message as well. Okay, so these are some of the birthday wishes that have come through this morning. Please send yours. Also, you can drop it under our live stream. We are streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. I would love to hear from you. So drop a comment under our live stream, and we'll read your messages for you. Okay, so let's continue enjoying this one. Emmanuel Barton will join us after this music break. for today. Now, today we're looking at something, as always, very important. This morning we're talking about latest, a forecast, actually a new forecast from Fitch Ratings, which actually projects that our economy will grow by 5% in 2026. Now, while that particular figure remains one of the strongest growth rates in the region, it represents a slowdown from the estimated 5.9% growth achieved in 2025. Now, according to Fitch, the main concern is not necessarily domestic economic weaknesses, but the growing uncertainty in the global economy, particularly tensions in the Middle East and their potential impact on energy prices. We can talk about inflation and government spending, and of course, economic stability across emerging markets. Now, the ratings agency also notes that Ghana and many African countries are entering this period from a much stronger position than they did during the Russia-Ukraine crisis in 2022. Now, inflation has eased, currencies have become more stable, foreign reserves have improved, and governments have made progress on fiscal reforms. Yet, important questions remain. How significant is this drop from 5.9 to 5% growth? Should Ghanaians be worried? Could rising oil prices reverse recent economic gains? And what does this forecast mean for jobs, businesses, investors, and ordinary households? And that's what we're talking about this morning. Emmanuel Watson joins me over the phone lines for this conversation. Emma, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well too, by God's grace. Fantastic. Let's get into our conversation this morning. Now, Fitch is forecasting our growth to slow from 5.9 to 5% in 2026. Now, on the surface, the difference appears quite small, just about 0.9. Yes, but I want to know, how significant is this slowdown, and should we be worried about it?
Thank you very much. And of course, good morning to our cherished listeners who have joined us this morning. I think that generally these are rating agencies who point out, as it were, where we rank or where we place in terms of credit risk, among other things. Now, the tension in the Middle East was an important thing. You see, it is one of the realities of globalization. Economies are increasingly interconnected. Guess what? This was part of what I studied for my thesis in school. How the global world is interconnected in terms of markets, financial markets, and my focus was even on Africa. So the implication is that what happens in one part of the world can have significant implications for the rest of the world, especially when it involves major energy producing regions. And like we have said in the past, when the United States of America coughs, the whole world catches a cold. It is from this, as it were, phenomenon. The Middle East remains one of the most important suppliers of crude oil and energy products globally. And therefore, any conflict involving key producers or major shipping routes, can disrupt supply chains and actually push global oil prices higher and higher. We witnessed what happens with Iran and, of course, the Strait of Hormuz and how that was impacting oil prices on a daily basis. Now, for Ghana, even though we produce our crude oil, the reality is that the country still imports significant quantities of refined petroleum products. Therefore, higher global oil prices can actually translate into increased fuel costs domestically for us. And those higher fuel costs actually affect transportation costs, for example. It affects the cost of manufacturing. It affects our agriculture. It affects our logistics and nearly every single sector of this Ghanaian economy. And when that happens, we see the businesses passing some of these costs on to consumers through higher prices. The result is inflationary pressure. The result is reduced household purchasing power. The result is increased operating costs for businesses. And that is why geopolitical events in distant regions can directly affect the cost of living in Ghana, for example.
I see. Now, if you look at the report also, I mean, the Fitch actually says that Ghana is entering this period from a stronger position than during the Russia and Ukraine crisis in 2026. What exactly has improved?
Thank you very much. I think the difference between today and 2022 is quite significant. You know, in 2022, what Ghana faced was severe macroeconomic challenges, including high inflation, including rapid currency depreciation, including rising debt levels, and of course, declining investor confidence. Not limited to these, but of course, it includes all of them. Since then, substantial adjustments have taken place. In fact, I'm sure you know we went in for an IMF-supported program.
Yeah.
Inflation has moderated considerably. The city has become more stable relatively, and fiscal consolidation measures have helped to improve confidence in our economic management. See, our foreign exchange reserves have also strengthened, and that has provided a country with some strong buffers against any external shock. This means that Ghana is better positioned to be able to manage volatility in global markets. In addition to all of this, policy credibility has improved. And how did it improve? It improved through reforms that were implemented under the IMF-supported program. So investors and rating agencies alike generally place greater confidence in economies that demonstrate commitment to fiscal discipline. And these improvements do not eliminate risk, but what do? They significantly enhance our ability as a country to withstand external disruptions, compared to what we experienced a few years ago.
I see. Right. Now, I would have loved that we spoke about oil prices, but let me move away from that. Now, we all know that, I mean, oil prices affect the global oil price affects us here. So if it continues to rise, we'll face a lot of pressure, even though right now, I think that has dropped significantly. Now, we are an oil producing country. Ghana is an oil producing country.
Yeah.
Why doesn't higher oil prices automatically benefit our economy?
Thank you very much. That's a very wonderful question, especially because I'm sure you are aware how we have managed our oil generally. Now, you see, Nichabi, the reality is that there is a common misconception that a number of Ghanaians have about the oil that, if you like, we do produce here in Ghana or with drill here in Ghana. And I will take a few minutes to be able to, as it were, explain that so that we can all understand precisely what is happening here in Ghana as far as our oil is concerned. Because I have found that many people do not really understand what we mean when we say perhaps Ghana has discovered oil or there is oil in Ghana and so on and so forth. So I'll spend some few minutes to try and, as it were, explain that so that our audience could also understand. You see, while higher oil prices can increase government revenues and export earnings, now the overall effect we are going to face is going to be dependent on what? The structure of our economy. So the baseline question would then be, what do we import and what do we export? Which of the, oils do we import and which of them do we export? I think that will be where the conversation must start from. Because once you are able to understand that, then we can then make the case for why, we may be suffering, if you like, or may not be getting the best of deals out of this. So let me explain that. We export crude oil, but we import a substantial amount of refined petroleum products. The point here is that it costs more. The petroleum products are relatively, the refined petroleum products are relatively expensive. as compared to the raw crude oil. So higher crude oil prices can increase our revenues and costs simultaneously. So when it is high, because we are a net importer of oil, in fact, the net effect is that we import more than we export, and therefore we are impacted. I don't know if that is quite clear.
Yeah.
So we may receive more petroleum revenues, but businesses and consumers may face higher fuel prices because they are importing them. In some cases, the negative effects on households and businesses can actually outweigh the benefits that we get as a country. Another factor is fiscal management. See, increased oil revenue only translates into broader economic benefits. Increased oil revenue, it only translates into what? Broader economic benefits. What do I mean by that? You can only make good use of your increased oil revenue when you invest them efficiently and sustainably in productive sectors of the economy. The fact that you are getting the revenue does not automatically mean that it's going to serve you well. We shouldn't think that the fact that some revenue is coming in means it will be used well. We've been in this country and I've seen how money may have been used in time past. So yes, high oil prices may create some opportunities for us, but they also introduce some inflationary risks that we must carefully manage. And on top of that, we may have to rethink. I don't want to mention thermal oil refining, but it's the only thing in my mind. We may have to look at it again and why we are not able to work on our refineries, well, why we are always importing and so on and so forth. We need to be just a bit more careful about what we are doing with our oil in this country.
I see. Anyway, now let's move on to some other things. Now, the Fitch also praises improvements in our fiscal position, but it wants that fiscal space remains limited. What does that mean in practical terms?
Thank you very much, and that's another equally important question that you are asking. I genuinely think that fiscal space, first of all, is money that is available for government to spend, or as it were, respond to shocks by spending without jeopardizing financial circumstances, or where we are as far as our money is concerned.
Can you repeat that?
So fiscal space essentially is government's ability to spend money or respond to any shocks that is happening to our economy, without jeopardizing our public finances. And although Ghana has made progress in reducing our fiscal imbalances, I think the country continues to face debt obligations. We face expenditure pressures and, of course, demands for public services. Now, limited fiscal space actually means that the government cannot easily introduce large-scale spending programs every time a challenge emerges, because you don't even have the space to do that. Think of it in our personal life. Fiscal space is that ability you have to spend money available to be spent. If you are constrained, and by saying you are constrained, this is what I mean. You have to pay rent, you have to buy electricity, you have to pay for water, basic utilities. You have to take care of the home, put food on the table, do this, maintain some things at home. You have to, as it were, the basic necessities of life. If after we account for all of that, and your income, there is no surplus on that, we would say that you don't have fiscal space. The difference between your revenue and your expenditure. If the expenditure is in excess of your revenue, you don't have fiscal space. But if the revenue is in excess of the expenditure, then you have fiscal space to do some more spending. That is really what it means. Okay. If you earn more than you spend, you have some space to be able to spend on other things.
Right.
If you spend more than you earn, literally you don't have any space. That's really that's really
Right.
the issue is about. So limited fiscal space means that the government cannot easily introduce any large-scale spending programs every time a challenge emerges. That is not possible. For example, if fuel prices rise sharply, then we may face pressure to provide some subsidies. I'm sure you saw one quite recently. They removed some, taxes or charges that they do place on some of our petroleum products, and I think it's over now.
Yeah.
But you see, such interventions can strain our public finances if not carefully designed and executed, because you are doing that at the detriment of your revenue mobilization efforts. So your revenue is going to fall. And that is why government didn't say we are doing it for 1 year. They did it for, I think, a month or something like that. And that will create a delicate balancing act. You see, government must support vulnerable households while maintaining fiscal discipline to be able to preserve economic stability and maintain a certain level of investor confidence. Now, that challenge will likely remain central to economic policy making throughout 2026 and, of course, post-2026.
Right. One thing is that Fitch also believes that our banks are better positioned to manage inflation today. What do you think gives central banks more or generally what gives central banks more confidence now than in previous years?
One important reason is that inflation is no longer accelerating at the pace seen during the post-pandemic period.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, many central banks across the region, across Africa, including the Bank of Ghana, have maintained a relatively tight monetary policy. And that they've kept their interest rates high enough so that they're able to control inflation expectations, especially that which is caused by the monetary side. Exchange rate stability has also helped. In previous years, rapid currency depreciation amplified inflationary pressures by making imports more expensive. Improved policy credibility has also strengthened the effectiveness of monetary policy. Now, you see, when households and businesses trust that inflation will be controlled, they are less likely to make decisions that fuel, further price increases. And that is quite important. And as a result of that, central banks now have more policy flexibility and greater confidence in the ability to be able to respond if inflationary pressures re-emerge in the economy.
I see. All right. Maybe 2 or 3 more things, and then we can go. So, this 5% growth we're talking about this morning, if we are able to achieve that this year, what should the ordinary citizen expect to see in their daily lives?
Well, economic growth matters most when it translates into tangible improvements in living standards.
Absolutely.
And when I say living standards, I'm essentially referring to quality of life. Now, if growth is broad-based and inclusive, something that has become the mainstay of many master's theses in the universities, PhD candidates alike. You see, if growth is broad-based and inclusive, then citizens may see increased employment opportunities, number one. They may see improved business activity, number two. They may see stronger consumer confidence and even higher income. Government revenues could also improve, and that will create opportunities for greater investment in infrastructure, in healthcare, education, and social services. Those basic services that the government is required to produce or provide for all of us together. However, you see, a growth figure alone does not guarantee improved living conditions. We can say we are growing at 5%, 7%, and what have you, but that is not a guarantee that, as it were, living conditions have improved. I don't know if you get the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
We cannot just say that because the economy is growing at 6%, everybody is well to do. Everybody has 3 square meals. Some of us, it's just 3 meals. It's not 3 square meals. Some people use binary operations to live. They know 100 101 001 010 011. You can do the permutations, and I'm sure you get all the outcomes.
Right.
That is how people are living. And then the GDP keeps going on, and they really don't see how it translates into their lives. So the figure alone does not guarantee improved living conditions. And I think I just want to take a breather here. I want to speak to our policymakers that debating in parliament, oh, we were able to grow the economy from 2% to 7% and all of that, when they don't put that, they don't touch on the quality of life of the people. How has healthcare improved? How has education and the quality thereof improved? The income levels of ordinary citizens, as against the general cost pressures around them. Are young people able to get employment opportunities? What income are they being paid? What is the issue of youth unemployment? Are young people able to even afford their rent? What is the excess of their income, over their expenditure in terms of basic expenditure, rent, food, and the rest of them? These are real issues that must be dealt with. So much depends on how growth is distributed across sector income groups and not merely the figure. The real test is whether households experience greater purchasing power, whether households experience more job opportunities and improved economic security. Those outcomes matter more to citizens than GDP statistics.
I see. Right. So, we it's about whether we are going to be able to experience greater purchasing power and all of that. All right, Ima, what sectors of the economy are most vulnerable if global uncertainty, energy prices or energy price shocks really persist?
Thank you. Manufacturing will likely face significant pressure because energy and transportation costs represent major components of production expenses. Agriculture could also be affected. I think that particularly through rising fertilizer costs, increased transportation expenses, this may ultimately influence the prices of food on our market, And the transport and logistics sector would also face direct impact from higher fuel prices, and that will potentially affect the cost of moving goods in and out of the country. Of course, even within the country itself, the cost of moving goods will be quite high. And we are also going to see our SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises. They may be especially vulnerable because many of them operate with limited financial buffers and are less able to absorb sudden increases in operating costs, which is extremely essential. So we don't have to, as it were, trivialize some of this. You see, the cumulative effect could reduce investment, and I mean investment in the economy. It could slow down business expansion because when prices are high, business cost of operation is going to shoot up. Once your cost of operation is shooting up, even if you are not careful, like we say in economics, if you are not able to cover your average variable cost in the short run, you shut down. There is no reason for you to remain in operation. We need to shut you down. Or you yourself, Uber too, you will just shut down. And that is really the issue that is going to happen. So SMEs may become vulnerable because many of them operate with limited financial buffers and are less able to absorb sudden increases in operating costs. Now, the cumulative effect is going to reduce investment, it's going to slow business expansion and weaken job creation if this shock persists over an extended period of time.
Okay, my final question would be, what what we should focus on, and by we I mean what should policymakers focus on to ensure that we remain resilient regardless of what happens in global markets? I think these are things we've spoken about a lot of times, but let me still hear your thoughts on that.
Well, the first priority should be preserving macroeconomic stability. Stable inflation, stable currency, disciplined fiscal management. These are foundational for sustaining growth in the economy. Now, Ghana must continue, in fact, begin to diversify its economy. Excessive dependence on commodities and the rest of them, it leaves the country vulnerable to some external shocks. When we are able to expand manufacturing, for example, we are able to expand technology, agribusiness, value-added industry. This can strengthen our resilience and our ability to withstand any of these shocks. The third one is domestic revenue mobilization. That should remain a top priority. See, economies that generate more internal revenue are generally less exposed to external financing pressures. I'll take that again. Any economy on the face of this earth that is able, as it were, to generate more revenue from within is generally less exposed to external financing pressures. The reverse is true. Or as it were, restating it is true. If you depend more on the external environment for your revenues, then you are more exposed to happenings in there. That is another way to say it. Even a more different way to say it is that you are more exposed to challenges that emanate from within if the bulk of your revenue comes from within.
Right.
So with a child that stays at home, does not have any, is not grossly affected by happenings outside of home. It is the child that fails to stay at home that will be associated with events or things that are happening outside of home. And in the case of Ghana, because we are heavily dependent on things outside of our economy, that is why we are heavily exposed to the external market. I mean, it's the major reason why many of these things do happen. And we cannot hide away from that, And then I think that the fourth thing is we need to invest heavily in energy security, food security, industrial productivity, because these are one of the ways that we could reduce, our vulnerability to international supply disruptions. Ultimately, resilience is not about building an economy that can withstand external shocks while continuing to create jobs. That is what resilience is about. For you to build an economy that can withstand external shocks while creating jobs, while attracting investment and improving living standards. That is why, in the heat of all of them, people were asking some important questions. Is Ghana the only one that is exposed to Russia and Ukraine? Is Ghana the only one that is exposed to Iran, US, and what was the name of the other one? Israel. It was not only Ghana.
Right.
In fact, was it only Ghana in Africa? I mean, the only African country that was exposed to many of these issues? No, it was not just Ghana. But why is it that Ghana was extremely hit? It was because the foundations were already weak. And the Bible has already stated it clearly. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? And I think that timeless truth stands even for Ghana. And the strongest economies are actually those that avoid shocks altogether. I mean, they are not those that avoid shocks altogether, but those that can absorb them and continue moving forward. Friends, and anyone listening to us this morning, in our own daily life, there are shocks that come to our life. And that is true. All of us face challenges one way or the other. The strongest person is not the one that avoids challenges. It's the one that keeps going in spite of the challenges. Because that person has built the strong foundations and has the strong absorbers to be able to deal with the shocks. The strongest car is not the one that does not face shocks. It is the one that you sit in, you go through shocks, you go through potholes, but you don't feel it. You board a Toyota Fit and go through a pothole, it will be as though they have sunk you into the pothole. But go through another car that has the ability to withstand shocks, like an SUV and one of those things, and you will see that it will appear as though the road does not have potholes. Maybe that is why our policymakers go through the potholes and they don't feel it, because their cars have enough shock absorbers. And those of us who do not have enough shock absorbers, when we go through the potholes, it looks like we're falling into a manhole.
All right, Emmanuel, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully we get to speak again on Monday. I'm really grateful.
You're welcome.
Thanks. All right. So that was Emmanuel Watting, our in-house economic analyst, and he joined us this morning. We spoke about Fitch projection, for Ghana, and Fitch actually says that our economy will grow by 5% in 2026. That means that it's slowing down from the estimated 5.9% growth that was achieved in 2025. And so, that's what we spoke about this morning. If you missed any part of the conversation, feel free, head to our YouTube channel. We're on YouTube at Zed Multimedia. Feel free to visit and you get to play back the conversation that we just had. All right, so we're going to get into our roundtable discussion this morning. And unfortunately, we'll get into our roundtable. Let's take a quick music. We're going to return. We bring you all of that right here.
Taking care of me. testimonies everywhere. Yeah. Latest grace I receive daily, daily. I know Jesus is taking care of me. New mercies every morning. Yeah. You daily load me with benefits. I'm a benefit boy. You treat me like your only child in the world. I know, Jesus, you're taking care of me. We are here to testify. Jesus is taking care of me. Oh, Jesus is looking after me. Jesus is watching over me. I'm shining because Jesus is taking care of me.
Yes, you daily give your angels charge over me, charge over me. Indeed, you're taking care of me. I don't need to pay for the air that I breathe, air that I breathe. You're taking care of me. Child, your blessings just they follow me. Child, angels watching over me. Before I call you answer me. I'm a benefit yellow. It's taking care of me. Jesus is taking care of me. Jesus is taking care of me. You'll never leave me. You'll never let me fall. Jesus is looking after me. Jesus is watching over me. I'm shining because Jesus is taking care of me. You watch over me. You take care of me, child. Jesus is taking care of me. Jesus is looking after me. He is watching over me. Jesus is watching over me. I'm shining because Jesus is taking care of me. Favor all around. Jesus is taking care of me. Everything is working up for my good. Jesus is taking care of me. Fighting my battles. Jesus is taking care of me. Many, many blessings open up everywhere. Jesus is taking care of me. Testimonies. Jesus is taking care of me. Latest grace I receive daily, daily. I know He's taking care of me. You treat me like your only child in the world.
I know.
Jesus is taking care of me.
He's taking care of me. He's taking care of me. New miracles every day. New testimonies everywhere. Yeah. Latest grace I receive daily, daily. I know Jesus is taking care of me. New mercies every morning. Yeah. You daily load me with benefits. I'm a benefit boy. You treat me like your only child in the world. I know, Jesus, you're taking care of me. We are here to testify. Jesus is taking care of me. Oh, Jesus is looking after me. Jesus is watching over me. I'm shining because Jesus is taking care of me.
Yes, you daily give your angels charge over me, charge over me. Indeed, you're taking care of me. I don't need to pay for the air that I breathe, air that I breathe. You're taking care of me. Child, your blessings just they follow me. Child, angels watching over me. Before I call you answer me. I'm a benefit yellow. me like your only child in the world. I know Jesus is taking care of me.
Here we go. Kindness and favor, signs and wonders. Oh na 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 na. I am blessed, I am blessed. Yeah. Oh my Jesus, bless me, bless me, bless me. Oh Lord, bless me, bless me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my Jesus, bless me, bless me, bless me. Oh Lord, bless me, bless me. Everybody say I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Everybody say I am blessed. I am blessed. Everybody say I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Oh na 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 na. I am blessed. I'm blessed in the city, in the field. Blessed when I come in, when I go out. Na na na. Oh yeah 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 yeah. In the city, I am blessed. In the field, I am blessed. When I come in, I am blessed. When I go out, Adum Nami Ashiram Yo, Ashiram Yo, Ashiram. Washemi Suakram Yo, Kurami, Kurami. Adum Nami Ashiram Yo, Ashiram, Ashiram. Wakomi Muakwam Yo, Kuami, Kuami. If there is something you cannot do, my God, I am yet to know. If there is something you cannot change, my God, it is yet to show. You did do one simple. You're the Lord, you are mighty in battle. Before you, my issue is little. Nobody did like you. God to someone. Oh, Wendy, we are done beyond Wendy. You spoiled there for me. Done beyond Wendy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Wendy, we are done beyond Wendy. You spoiled there for me. Done beyond Wendy. Chala, chala, chala. What did I do to deserve this love and kindness? I did wonder, wonder. And then what? So I go count my blessings, 'cause it's Lord they do for me on the regular. Chola, chola. What do I do to deserve this love and kindness? I dey wonder. And you I didn't know what for. So I go count my blessings, cause it's been interesting what the Lord they do for me on the regular. Oh, Wendy, we ain't got me on Wendy. You spoiled there for me. Got me on Wendy. Yeah. Oh, Wendy, we ain't got me on Wendy. You spoiled there for me. Got me on Wendy. I know
I will sing, I will dance, I will praise.
101.9 FM.
A new song in my mouth, yeah. It's been you from the day that I was born. Lord, your love has carried me this far. For your grace and your mercy that you showered over me, I will sing of your love forevermore. It's been you from the day that I was born. Lord, your love has carried me this far. For your grace and your mercy that you showered over me, I will sing of your love forevermore. Hey, my life, my love, my joy, in the morning when I rise, my love, my joy, for all you've done, and for all that you will do. Yeah, my love, my joy, yeah, my love, my joy, my love, my joy, my life, my love, my joy, through the trouble and the pain, my love, my joy, for all you've done, and for all that you will do. My love, my joy, my love, my joy. When I count my blessings, I name them one by one. It's clear to see my life is a testimony for the hope and the joy that the world can take away. I will sing of your love forevermore. See, when I count my blessings, I name them one by one. It's clear to see my life is a testimony, yeah, for the hope and the joy that the world can take away. I will sing of your love forevermore. Say my love, my joy, in the morning when I rise, my love, my joy, for all you've done, and for all that you will do. My love, my joy, yeah, my love, my joy, my love, my joy, yeah, my life, my love, my joy, oh, my love, my joy, for all you've done, and for all that you will do. Yeah, my love, my joy, my love, my joy, my love, my joy, hey, my love, my joy, yeah. When I count my blessings, name them one by one. Yeah, you've been good to me, God. You've been good to me, yeah. Mommy, good on me, mala. Me get me tree fanny bala. I will sing, I will dance, I will shout for joy. Mommy, good on me, mala. Me get me tree fanny bala. I will sing, I will shout for joy. Yeah, mommy, good on me, mala. Me get me tree fanny, me get me tree fanny. I will sing, I will dance, I will shout for joy. Mommy, good on me, mala. Me get me tree fanny.
This is Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM.
Never seen a lover like you, with the love that's so true, yeah. And what wrong? Yes, what do you need more? Send you sit down with the way he loves me, yes, so. Send you sit down with the way you love me, yes, so. Oh, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, say tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down. Let's go. I see a lover like you, but a lover so true. Yeah. And we're wrong. Yes, what do me and what wrong? Send you sit down in the way you love me. Send you sit down, you know, yeah. Send you sit down in the way you love me. Yes, way. Tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you're gonna hear me tear down. On my super lover, or do you mean shadow? My beginning and my end, oh, yes, you see, mommy. The one my super lover, ooh, or do you mean shadow? My beginning and my end, oh, yes, you see, mommy. The one my super lover, my super lover, or do you mean shadow? Mean shady dog. My beginning and my end, oh, yes, you see, mommy. Yes, you see, mommy. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. My beginning and my end, oh, yes, you see, mommy. Tear down, tear down. Yes, you don't hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you do it. Yes, you don't hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you don't hear me tear down, tear down, tear down. Yes, you don't hear me tear down. See the way he loves me, what on this mommy, yeah. Everybody say, what on this mommy, yeah. See the way he loves me, what on this mommy, send you sit down, you know. Send you sit, what on this mommy, stay by my side. Say the bottom of my bread and the sugar more, dad. Oh yeah. Let me know your papa, what on is some more? Share your testimony with me, let me hear it. When I am down and weak, it lifts me up. What on is do you have a testimony? Always on time, punch it on the.
This is Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM. This is Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM.
Zed 101.9 FM. 101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio. This is Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM.
All right, welcome back to the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM with me,